Good morning, everyone. Welcome to my channel. My name is Lynn, and I hope whenever you're watching this, whether it's having a great morning, great afternoon, great evening, or great night, whenever you have time to watch this, I hope your day is going really well. Mine is a little crazy, and it's only not even 7:30 yet, but that's okay. I have a full day ahead, so I wanted to get on here and get this video filmed so that I could show you everything I was stressing that I wouldn't get done in time to show you today. Now, you know what they say, the best laid plans? Well, I'm having to learn that I don't need to be so strict on what I plan because half the time life says, ha ha ha, yeah, no. So, first off, this is for Kathy, or anybody else who is curious. But Kathy had commented and asked about that cardigan that I had put in timeout. Well, I did decide to go ahead and rip it out because if you've seen the hexagon cardigan that I did with the two colors, I I liked how that did for this yarn. And this is a let me see if I can. All right, this isn't the color, but it is the Yarn Bee Soft and Sleek DK that I got from Hobby Lobby. I think it was like 2019, maybe, in their clearance. But anyway, so I've tried different things with this yarn, and the latest thing before that hexagon cardigan was a harvest cardigan, which is knit. And I didn't like how it was working, so I'd put it in timeout till I could decide whether I wanted to move forward or what. Because I thought, okay, if I don't like how how it comes out, I can donate it to the senior citizen charity that I do. But after putting it on, and I didn't even get my second sleeve, but after putting it on, I didn't like the way this yarn did in this construction of a pattern. I've made this harvest cardigan by TinCanKnits before, and I can put that link down below. But with this yarn, I didn't like it. So I'm going to show you, and just keep in mind, there's not a sleeve on this side. I just had my my live stitches holding to where I could pick up the sleeve and go along with it. But I love the way the color worked on it. And I like the way that, the patterning came out as far as the way the colors fell. But side note, I decided to do their sleeve cuff, and I didn't like it. It's just basically garter stitch with binding off, and I didn't like it. So I think what I'm going to do next time is knit my ribbing like I did last time and add it on at the end of my sleeve. But there's something with this yarn and the way it stretches or doesn't stretch. But see, the last one I made in Harvest with this Harvest pattern, I had made with a cotton blend, and the drape was different. This is acrylic. Now, this is a DK anti-pilling acrylic, so I was really excited to give it a shot in this pattern, but it didn't work. But yeah, here's the cardigan in all its little pretty glory. I don't want to hit my microphone, so I'm trying not to. But it never got finished, and it will be ripped out so that I can make another hexagon cardigan, because I have found out this is the perfect. And this gray is the one that went along with the green in that other hexagon cardigan. So I'm going to rip that out and reuse the yarn, so nothing is wasted. Okay. Now, the reason I did the hexagon cardigan is because I had in my brain a cardigan that I wanted to make. And I didn't have the yarn on the colors that I needed on hand. So that one, when I get ideas like this, if I don't have the yarn, it kind of gets put on hold, but it might spur another idea. So the original hexagon cardigan idea I had got put on hold until I could get the right colors. And I'm going to show you. This is why I needed to put it on hold, because I didn't have the right color yellow. Now, I have quite a few yellows. I have yellows for bright yellow, like a pale pastel color yellow, but nothing for a good sunflower color, because sunflowers are so distinct in their colors that you don't want to get too yellow, you don't want to get too orange. So anyway, this was the hexagon cardigan that I wanted to make. And this is the same hexagon that I did on the last one that I showed you with that DK weight. And I don't know if this is going to show very good on camera, but I did the basic hexagon cardigan, and then I made a lot more than the ones that I have on here, but I decided not to add them all because it wouldn't have fit. Because my sunflower squares are quite large, if you can see. But this is a small, because when I was constructing it, I didn't think I was going to make a medium. Now, this wasn't ever intended for me. I was just making it to make it because I had the idea in my head. And I was like, that would look so pretty because, I mean, who doesn't love sunflowers, right? Isn't it so pretty? I love the way it came out. I didn't think of pockets, but I could have just done a plain, ooh, I might do that on my next one. Just like a plain white square here, and then have a sunflower square over top of it that's not attached at the top, so it could be a pocket. I'd have to line it though, because you wouldn't want anything falling out. That's an idea. Anyway, so this ended up being a size medium, because what I'd done is I had done the hexie part and put it to the side. Oh, and this is the Premier Just yarn, the 1 pounder. I mean, the Premier Just 1 pound. And I love how it was a dream to work with. Now, as far as the sunflower squares, they were kind of a mix. I used Red Heart Warm Brown for the center. Red Heart Buff for the lining of the center, and then I did Karen 1 pound in sunflower yellow, and then I switched back to Red Heart Hunter Green for this, and then of course the Premier Just 1 pound. So I did a mix in this cardigan, which usually I don't mind mixing acrylics, especially Red Heart and Karen, because they're very similar. And Premier has shown me, now Premier is softer, I will tell you that. Even the value acrylic 1 pound that I got at Dollar Tree, it is softer than the Karen or the Red Heart. Now, I wish I had had a lot more colors available in that Dollar Tree Premier, but that's okay. It's widening my yarn palette because before I started this channel, I really had only ever used Premier sock yarn. So this channel has really created like the ultimate yarnivore for me because apparently I can't get enough, right? But I do love how that come out. Now, I do want to do another version of that sunflower, and I will show y'all when I complete it. But I think I'm going to do one in a couple different sizes maybe and put it on my website. I think that would I think that would be a good idea. I don't know if it's appealing enough. You know, I know a lot of people love sunflowers, but I just don't know if it would be for, a wide variety of people. So we'll see. Now, I feel like I'm rushing through today only because I know I have to go outside and it looks like it's going to storm, but it's not calling for any rain. It's cloudy and icky but I got a lot of stuff I got to do outside today, so I feel like I am kind of rushed. I was waiting for daybreak to come so I could film. It was like, because I got to get outside. I got to go. I got to go. I got to go. So today, all my yarn stuff may be put on hold till this afternoon. Oh, I don't want to show that yet. I was going to show you a work in progress, but I'm going to show you two other things that I've done. Now, I am, oh, poo, hold on. Let me see if I saved the label before I go. Oh, yeah. I didn't want to go on Joanne's site when I was filming. I have, and I will pick up my phone and look if I have to. But I did save the label, and I put it right here so I wouldn't forget. But I made this last week. Yeah, I think so. I think it was like Friday, maybe Thursday. I don't remember. But it is another market bag. Yes, I know it's another market bag. But it is another market bag. And with the weather starting to turn, I was like, you know what? Let me make something a little less springy and summery, which you're going to laugh when you see my next item that I have to show you that I finished. But I kind of like it. It's not a typical color choice I would make, but I do like the color. What do you think? And this is Lily Sugar and Cream in Autumn Leaves. So it is, you know what? I'm doing good this morning. I'm glad I caught that before I tried to take pictures for my website, because this will be going on my website. But I had it inside out. I'm like, why is the stitches looking backwards? Because when you're looking at single crochet, you can definitely tell a front and a back, especially on the edges. Or, well, of any crochet stitch, you can tell. But I like how I like how the colors fell. Like I said, it's not a usual thing for me, this colorway, but I could rock it. And I'm gonna be taking pictures of that, so I'm gonna leave that out so I can take pictures of it. And this other one, this is why I said you're gonna laugh because yes, it is another market bag, but it is not in fall colors. And I kind of painted myself into a corner when I when I said about moving. But this is actually the second time I've made this color, And this is in Hippie, HIPPI, of Lily Sugar and Cream. Now, I love this one. This one, Ahoy, and I think Purple Haze, and Moon Dance, and Creamsicle. All right, so I have a lot of ones that I like when I make these things. But I think it's so pretty. And these little things are so deceptive because you wouldn't think they hold that much. But these smaller ones hold 12 of the 4-ounce Lily Sugar and Cream balls. So I mean they hold a lot. And then the bigger one holds 28. So now this one took almost 2 balls of Lily Sugar and Cream, and I used a cone for that one. So, but if you do the balls, which the ombres and the multicolors and everything, they are only 3 ounces, I believe, and the solid colors are 4 ounces, and of course the cones are 14 ounces. So you have a lot of different choices. Now I'm looking at my cotton rack right there, and I see another color that I want to try in a market bag, and I'm going to do that. And I do want to do. I need to get some of these market bags sold before I keep making all these things. Because one of the biggest primary reasons for that I wanted to do the website was to get some of these makes, all these completed things gone, so that I wasn't overrun with all these things that I've made that I don't know what to do with. Because I make so much, because I always have to have something going, you know. It's never a matter of um, not having anything to do. Because in the summertime, yes, I am busier outside doing things, but when I'm not, when I'm in the car, or I'm waiting on my husband at a doctor's appointment, which is kind of sometimes in the car, depending on, you know, like if he's going in for labs or something. Like I took him to get his labs done yesterday, and then we took him and my grandson to get a haircut. But me and my grandson was in my car for an hour waiting on him to go get labs. So it was kind of oh yeah, I gotta have something to do. Which my grandson was entertaining enough. We were singing and carrying on, and this is so funny. I picked this up to show you what I have as a work in progress, and I just started I just started knitting. See, I told you my hands have to stay busy. And usually when I'm filming, they're busy just flapping around. So, last week I showed you the Three Crows Fiber, that the local yarn shop that opened up, and so I caked it up. I told y'all I couldn't wait, and I was ready to cake it up, and I already have a sock on my needles for my to-go pattern, right? For easy knitting. So I did decide to use that to do a hat for this, and I have the little brim kind of folded up just to kind of see, because I didn't want a real massive brim. Again, not for me, but I love how this came. Isn't it so pretty? Just caked up, and then let me see if I can put this right here. No, you know what? I'm gonna put this under. I'm gonna put it through this so that I can. Hang tight. Y'all bear with me. I'm trying to show you how pretty the pattern, the way the colors are falling in the stockinette stitch. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? Oops. I love how this is turning out. So it's not blocked, you know, it's still in its rough stage, but I do love those colors. Now, it makes me wish even more that this was a sock base, like I told y'all that I had wanted originally, because this would be an awesome pair of socks for me. I mean, those colors, you know, y'all know I'm a purple and blue freak, which there's not a whole lot of blue per se. I mean, yes, there is like a, you know, like a light aqua, light turquoise type look in this. It's not a whole lot, but if you look right there, you know, it's just that little pop of bright color. And I love that. And it would be, I mean, obviously it would, it would match. I would have a perfect pair of socks for this, which I do already have a perfect pair of socks for this. I had done, I want to say it was in that Premier Deborah Norville sock yarn. It was a just a solid purple color, and I did the Hermione uh, sock pattern. I can't remember who that's from. I know it's on. I'll look it up and put it down below. So that's two patterns that I need to, actually three, because, and this really doesn't have a pattern. I'm just doing a basic stockinette, uh, 1 by 1 rib with stockinette stitch hat. I mean, I've done so many of those, I don't really need a pattern. But I need to put the market bag pattern on the description too, so that I can show y'all the, because that's by Stephanie Zed. It's a free YouTube tutorial. And I'll put that down below. But could you imagine? I wouldn't do, see, the Hermione sock pattern is what I do when I have a solid color sock yarn, because it adds little bumps and it just adds a little bit of texture, a little bit of visual appeal. I don't like doing anything but stockinette stitch when I have pattern yarns that stripe like this, and it's a self-striping yarn, or it is just a indie dyed yarn. I don't like using anything with texture because it gets lost. So I'm sorry. I'm going to go ahead. I'm almost back down around to the thing there. And I only use the stitch marker so I can see where the beginning of the round is. By the time I get up to my decreases, I want it kind of evened out. Well, I mean, I really don't need it. It's just habit, having a stitch marker at the beginning of my round. Now, I did have to rip this out the other day. I had gotten, well, a little bit more than I am now. And I noticed that I had messed up on a row way back here. And I thought about trying to tink, just letting that one stitch fall and pick it back up and fix it, until I noticed a couple stitches over it was the same problem. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to put a lifeline in down here at my ribbing and rip it all back. Because with knitting, it's not as forgiving. I can't fudge things. I mean, you can in certain areas and in certain stitches. Like in a lace, you can kind of get away with a mistake every here and there, because you have so many yarn overs that kind of cover things up. But in a plain stockinette stitch, even with a pattern of a yarn that's patterning like this, you have to be careful. So I just ripped it all back out, and I was like, you know what? I don't really want to rip it out, because yes, that's mindless knitting, but at the same time, sorry, it's that little cake of yarn is like got a mind of its own. But anyway, the the aesthetic, I would have seen it, and if it's going up on my website for sale, it's got to be, it's got to be as good as it can get. Nothing is perfect because none of us are perfect. And no, nothing we make is perfect, but it needs to be as close to perfect as I can get it. So I ripped it out and started over. Well, not completely because I didn't start the ribbing over. Now on that, I believe I did about 3 inches of ribbing so I could fold it up, fold the brim up a little bit. I tried to do a poll on my community tab and ask, what did y'all think? Should I make a ribbing, a fold up brim? Should I just leave it? Because see, with my ears being so big, I always thought that I could make just a rib brim and keep it flat, but that don't work. Which a folded brim really doesn't work that well for me anyway, because we've established I can't do hats or beanies. Now, if I put a ball cap on, which now to be fair, I only wear a ball cap with all of this hair out the back like a pony. Or I try to clip it up and put it up under the hat, So it looks, even though I do look like a lady and I do look like a woman, I kind of look like a guy when I have, because if I have a ball cap on, it's because I'm going to be outside working and I'm using it as a sun, protector. So I don't have any makeup on. My hair's not done. And, it's just, I don't know. I think it just makes me look very masculine. But anyway, so that was all that I had to share as far as my finished objects. The cardigan that Kathy wanted me to see. I don't feel bad about ripping that out, only because I wouldn't want to gift that to anybody because I don't like the way the yarn is worked out in that pattern. Now, I may do that pattern. See, the only thing is that is that's more of a DK pattern. So I would hate to, I believe it's a DK pattern. Hold on. Sorry, I know that I don't like to do this, but TinCanKnits has an app now so that you can keep their patterns handy. And I do like that. Let me see. Oh, okay. See, I had put this thing in timeout so long that this pattern is actually written for a worsted weight. So this might be a good thing for that premiere, so that I could teach, so that I could donate that as to my senior citizens that I would have donated that one to. We'll see. Now I do, because even though we are in the South and I don't really use anything for wintertime unless it's a very light DK type situation like that. Because most of the jackets that I have are the Columbia jackets, the they're very lightweight, fleecy type. They're not anything heavy, um, unless I'm going to be outside. If I'm working outside, usually I have a barn jacket, a big Carhartt back when I had my horses. I still have that. I haven't worn that in a couple years though. Um, but we've already established that I had gotten a little heavy and over the last few years, and that extra weight made sure that I definitely didn't need anything. But we'll see how this winter goes. I don't really see myself needing anything major unless, like I said, I'm going to be outside working for a long period of time. I might probably throw on my Carhartt. Who knows? We'll see. But I need to get my hiney going. I need to get out here. I'm trying to break up a humongous, and when I say huge, I'm talking probably 400 by 500 foot area of wood chips that I'm trying to kind of consolidate and get it out of the way so that we can smooth some area out, and get it taken care of, because those wood chips are awesome. And if you have access to free wood chips, why not? Now, I didn't chip it with my little chipper. I do have a wood chipper, but it's more for, like 3-inch limbs, which I do have a few of those I need to get chipped up. But I have to deal with this chipping situation first. And I want to do it because even though I did look at the weather report today, we're not supposed to get rain till tomorrow, but I think we're going to get it. And I tried to do the backhoe last night, which I know my backhoe does need to be repaired because the hydraulic fluid is leaking so bad. And by the way, I think I said I was done with all my stuff. So if you're still sticking around with me, awesome. I appreciate it. But there's no more yarn stuff. But anyway, the backhoe is leaking so much hydraulic fluid that we're having to buy, and those buckets are like $50 a piece. So to waste that, I was willing to help get all this chips contained, and I went to go start it last night, and I frustrated the heck out of my husband, but it needs to be done so that I'm on a deadline, yes, but and yes, I did have about 2 weeks to do this prior, but I've been so busy trying to get everything on my website done and get, my crochet and my knitting in a semblance of completion. So it's partly my fault. Sorry, I just want to make sure there was no emergency. Um, but I wanted to make sure that everything got done, and I realized, oh crap, I've got to get this chip situation handled now. So went out there. Me and my son and my daughter-in-law and my grandson, because they came up to eat dinner with us last night, and they were trying to help me, fill the backhoe up with hydraulic fluid. And I haven't used my backhoe since we did my greenhouse, and that was in May of 2023. So that's about a year and a few months. Um, so it's been sitting there, not being done anything with because of the hydraulic fluid leak. Well, we went to go crank it last night, and the battery was dead. So we used my husband's truck to try to jump it off, and it still wasn't working. And my husband was so frustrated with me, he wasn't going to help me. He just had kind of washed his hands of it and said that I was hard headed, and I am. I know that about myself. So I had wanted to get that, but I do have a scrape blade that I could possibly hook up to the back of his truck and pull it to kind of pull the chips in, because that big of an area and that much chips, because I mean, it's a good 1.5 foot, maybe 2 foot deep of chips that I have to pile up over that 400 to 500 foot area, 4 by 500 foot. And I want to go ahead and get all that done. So I'm thinking I might go out there, and if it's not too heavy, put it in the back of the truck and get it over to the chips, and then just kind of pull it, because it's meant to go on the back of our tractor. But our tractor's been broke now I have a lot of broke equipment. I'm going to tell you that. I think that tractor, it's been down since 17, maybe. No, I think it was before that. Yeah. So it's been down way too long. It's probably almost 10 years, and it's an old rusted yarn ornament right now, which I love it. It was rusted when we bought it. It was an old Massey Ferguson. I think it was a 1970 something model or 80 something model. But I love the antique look of it, and it was a great tractor for as long as it worked. But when we were building the horse pen, my husband and father-in-law, I mean, my husband and stepdad were using the auger on the PTO, the 3-point hitch on the back, and my husband was driving it at the time, and the PTO was straight, and then he let off the clutch a little bit, and so it went just a little bit, and it put it in a bind. Well, I kept hollering for my husband that it was in a bind, and he's like, "No, it's fine, it's fine." Well, a couple minutes later, smoke starts billowing out from underneath my tractor, and I think it burned up the clutch in the PTO system because the PTO has not worked since. And a tractor that just moves doesn't do me any good. I need the bush hog. I need the PTO. I need the PTO in full functioning working order. And the funds have never been there to actually get it repaired because my husband said basically we're just going to break that transmission apart and get that. Yeah, so that's more than anything. Yes, I know I'm mechanically inclined and I know I can work on cars, but heavy equipment is out of my perusal, and it's not in my wheelhouse. So it was always something that had to be either sent out to be repaired, and the one guy that could have done it passed away. So there is another guy that has worked on our backhoe before, and I want to ask him about the Massey Ferguson because I might be able to get my bush hog and my backhoe, or my tractor and my backhoe, repaired without gouging me too bad. Which when the guy come out to repair the backhoe the first time for another issue, he was very reasonable. I mean, he didn't rob us at all. Well, I was thinking, it'd at least be $500-$600. I think it was 200. So, I got really lucky on that. So I might ask him about the PTO clutch on that Massey Ferguson. But anyway, I'm going to get off here. I'm sorry. I talked way longer than I wanted to, but I've enjoyed showing y'all all these little lovely little things. And when I do get the other cardigan made, I'm gonna show you that idea too. But should I add pockets to one? Do you think that would be a cool feature? Do people even use pockets anymore? I don't know. I tell you what, y'all have y'all a wonderful afternoon, evening, you know, whatever you're doing. I hope you have fun doing it, and I will see y'all next time. Bye bye.